Good morning, class. Today we are here to work on lesson 10 from our book 4 Saxon math class, and today's lesson is on even and odd numbers. So you guys have done this before with objects, with pictures, but we're going to do a quick review here. I have a set of 6 circles here on the board. So you can see with my 6 circles here that each of them has a partner. I can partner them up just like that, and there is no odd man out. Versus my 5 circles here, if I try to partner them up, these two have a partner, these two have a partner, but this guy right here is our odd man out. And that's how we know when something's an odd number. If we try to partner up that number of objects, we always end up with somebody being left out. So odd numbers have an odd man out. Now, in 4th grade, we don't need to draw circles anymore. We can memorize what's an even number and what's an odd number. So take a look over here. I have a list of even numbers starting with 2, and we just count by 2s. 2 is even. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, and the list could go on and on. I could count even numbers literally for forever. But there's something that I want you to notice about our even numbers here. Take a look at this list, just the top list here, and tell me if you notice something about the digits, particularly the digit in the ones place. What do you see? So what I hope that you've noticed is this is a 2, and over here, 12 ends in a 2. This is a 4, 14 ends with a 4. This is a 6, 16 ends with 6, 8 and 18, 10 and 20 both end with 0, and we could go on if we kept counting. But that's the end of my list. Do you see any even number that ends with a 1? No, you don't. Because if it ends with a 1, that 1 would be an odd man out. So any number that ends with a 1 is going to go in the odd list. So here's our even list. All even numbers end with 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. All even numbers end in those 5 digits. And then the opposite of that is all odd numbers end in 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9. So we can take a number, any number at all. Okay, I'm out of erasers here. I'll just use my hand. Okay, so we can take any number. Let's do a really super huge one. I'm going to do 1,457,672. And all of these digits don't matter one bit. What matters is what digit is in the ones place. So here I have a 2 in the ones place, which tells me, see my 2 here? Tells me that this ginormous number is even because it ends in an even number. Now I can change that even number. Instead of a 2, let me make it a 9. So now we have 1,457,679. Remember, the only digit that matters when we're looking at even and odd is the ones place. So the ones place is a 9. Take a look at my odd numbers. Odd numbers end with 9, so this is an odd number, okay? Grab an eraser over here. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of numbers, and I want you to tell me which ones are even and which ones are odd. So we'll start with 463. Yell out at the screen, is that an even number or an odd number? 463. Remember, the 3 is what we need to look at. Odd, it's an odd number. Okay, next number, 285. Yell out at your screen, even or odd. 285. It ends in an odd number, so it is odd. Very good. And 456. Even or odd, yell it out at your screen. It ends with a 6, which is even, so this is even. Nice job, folks. Okay, so the next example tries to trick us a little bit. So it says use the digits 2, 7, and 6. We're using those digits to write a 3-digit odd number that is greater than 500. So when I get something like that, it's kind of like I'm solving a riddle. I know that it has to be 3 digits. So that tells me I'm going to use each of those digits. I know that it has to be greater than 500. So can I put my 2 in the hundreds place? No, because 200 is less than 500. Can I put my 7 in the hundreds place? I sure could. That's greater than 500. Could I put my 6 in the hundreds place? Also greater than 500, so I could. So I have 2 choices at this point. It could be 700 something, or it could be 600 something. Now, the last clue is that I'm creating a 3-digit odd number. So take a look at the digits that we have to work with here. I have 2, I have 7, and I have 6. Which of those digits is odd? The 7. So where does the 7 have to go in my number if I want to have an odd number? Remember, it's the ones place that makes something odd. So I need to have a 7 in the ones place. So if I'm using each of these digits, is this top one going to work? 700 something 7? No, because I've used the 7 twice. So that tells me that the 6 is going to be in the hundreds place, the 7 is going to be in the ones place, and that leaves the 2 in the tens place. So my answer is going to be 627. Your book will give you questions like this, where you really have to work out the clues and try to figure out what answer is going to satisfy each of those clues. So, is this number bigger than 500? Yes, check. Is this an odd number? It ends in a 7, check. And is it a 3-digit number? 1, 2, 3, check. So this satisfies all of our clues. Any other combination of those digits would not satisfy all 3 clues. Okay, final example. Oh, nope, I misspoke. We've got 2 more. How many different 3-digit numbers can you write using the digits 0, 1, and 2? Each digit may be used only once, and the digit 0 may not be used in the hundreds place. List the numbers from least to greatest and label the numbers you write as even or odd. Whew, that's a lot of information. So we're going to take this just one piece at a time. We're starting with 0, 1, and 2. Those are my digits. And it wants to know how many different 3-digit numbers can I write using each digit only once. So I'm not going to repeat any of them. And 0 may not be used in the hundreds place. So I'm never going to put 0 here because that's not actually a 3-digit number. That's equal to the number 12, which is a 2-digit number. So we won't use that there. So let's come up with all of the numbers that we can make, and then we'll do the final step of putting them in order, okay? So I can't put the 0 in the hundreds place, but I can put 1 in the hundreds place. So I can write 102 as one of my choices, or I can write 120, where I just flip-flop my 2 and my 0, okay? Can I make any more 3-digit numbers with 1 in the hundreds place? Not with these digits. So I'm going to move on. I can put 2 in the hundreds place. So I can have 201, or I can flip-flop my 0 and my 1, and I can have 210. Are there any other combinations I can make without putting the 0 in the hundreds place? No, there are not. So we have these 4 numbers. So the very last part of our question said to list them in order from least to greatest. I kind of already did that automatically, because if I look at this, 102, excuse me, we are not supposed to say the and, is less than 120. 120 is less than 201, and 201 is less than 210. So this is actually our final answer. If I had come up with my list in any other order, then I'd have to rearrange it to put it in order from least to greatest. Okay, now moving on to the final example, is it says the same number of boys and girls were in the classroom. Which of the following numbers could be the total number of students in the classroom? So here's what we know. We know that the number, this is a symbol for number, the number of girls is equal to the number of boys. Do we know how many girls there are? No. We don't know how many boys there are. But we can still figure out the answer to this problem because it gives us some choices. It tells us that the answer is either going to be 25, 26, or 27. So think about what we know about even and odd. Back to my little dot pictures over there. If I were to partner up one girl with one boy, and there's the same number of girls as boys, would we have an odd man out? No. Each girl is going to have a partner of one boy. So everybody's going to have a partner. Nobody's left out, which means the number of kids in the class must be an even number or an odd number. They must be even because we don't have any odd man out. So looking at my choices, notice the ones place, I have a 5, I have a 6, and I have a 7. Only one of those choices is even. Yes, it's 26, so there must be 26 students in this class. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you are still unsure about even and odd, and if you'll be able to get these tricky problems like the one where we have to come up with the specific 3-digit number, or the word problem like the class students, then I would recommend that you do lesson practice, which is on page 57, and your parents have the answer in their answer key of the book. If you're like, even and odd, I've been doing this for years, easy, schmeezy, lemon squeezy, then just move on to your written practice, which also begins on page 57. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you again soon.